Welcome into the 2-minute drill here Inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason Caldwell and Mark Murphy from Inside the Auburn Tigers magazine, autigers.com. Mark, health of this Auburn team has been really an issue from the get-go, where the guys getting banged up from the start. You look and heading into Mississippi State, starting to be able to get some guys back. And I think you look at it, and starting last week, Cameron Petway a little banged up, was held out. Trey Williams was banged up and held out. Javaris Davis outside was held out, Mark. So you look at heading into Mississippi State, health is one of the big question marks for this team.
Yeah, I think they're certainly making progress in that area, and I think we'll see most of these guys back. Darius Slayton could be back from his ankle sprain. He was the #1 receiver in preseason. It would be a plus to get him back, and he's a big target out there. The way Jarrett Stidham's throwing the ball right now, that could be a big deal. Getting Cameron Petway back, particularly this week against Mississippi State, where he had such a great breakout game last year, would be a big thing too, Jason.
Absolutely. You look and you get Kerryon Johnson back, Cameron Petway. If you get those two guys on the field, it would be a rarity for this Auburn team. You think about the big things that those guys have done together the last 2 years, Mark, but they've played 17 games the last 2 seasons. Those two guys have both gotten carries in the same game only 7 times. It's hard to imagine that they've only done that 7 times. And of course, one of those Clemson first game last year, they didn't, Cameron Petway didn't get a carry, but you look, and a lot of those too have been games where they're not healthy. There's only 3 times where I think they've been full speed. That was all before Mississippi State last year. So having these two guys back and even close to full speed would be something that this Auburn offense hasn't seen much of.
I asked Kerryon after the game Saturday night in Columbia how he was doing, and he said he was somewhere between 80, and then he said 85. They said maybe 90% healthy, but he's getting better. So, I think he got through that game without carrying the ball too much, and I didn't see him retweak anything, so that's a big deal. Defensively, they held Trey Williams out with his shoulder problem. Trey's had that all last year and played around it. I expect he'll probably be back this week. I think the question on defense among the regular starters is Javaris Davis at cornerback. Jamel Dean stepped in last week in his first college start, played really well.
Absolutely. So you look at this Auburn team getting closer to healthy. Still some guys beat up, bruised up, which you always get in the SEC, but should be some faces back on the field for the Tigers on Saturday against Mississippi State. Jason Caldwell and Mark Murphy, Inside the Auburn Tigers.